Prince Andrew is continuing to cause serious problems for the royal family due to his relationship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, and King Charles has very much been dragged into this. The King has been...
Today we are looking at a major turning point for Sarah Ferguson, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, and the home that has defined their unusual life together for nearly 20 years. Royal Lodge, once a symbol of their strange but enduring partnership, is about to lose one of its key residents. And this time, it is not rumour. Sarah is preparing to leave, and her own representatives have now said so on the record. The change comes after a difficult stretch for both of them. In late October, King Charles formally removed Andrew's remaining royal styling. That meant no more use of the title Prince. It was the clearest sign yet that the palace intends to place distance between the monarchy and anyone connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Once that decision was made, questions about Royal Lodge resurfaced immediately, because the house symbolised a level of status, comfort, and continuity that Andrew no longer deserves. For years, their arrangement seemed to defy explanation. They divorced in 1996, yet continued to share the same home, often presenting themselves as a united household. It was described as friendly, practical, or simply eccentric, depending on who you asked.
You two have always been remarkable to me because you did get divorced, yet you continue to live together. Separate wings of the house, but...
Yeah, lucky it's quite a big house.
It's a big house, yes, I've been there. It's a big house. And I just read, and I hope it's true, you bought a Swiss chalet?
Regardless of the interpretation, it worked for them, and it gave the impression that Sarah was choosing to remain by Andrew's side, no matter how bad the public pressure became. Finally, that arrangement is ending. A representative for Sarah confirmed to People magazine that she is, and this is the direct quote, assessing a number of options currently, and no final decision has been made about where she will live next. They also took the opportunity to formally shut down two stories that have been circulating. The first was the claim that she might move into an annex attached to Princess Beatrice's property in the Cotswolds. The second was the rumour that she would be joining Princess Eugenie in Portugal. The Rep denied both stories. It is worth pausing on those two possibilities, because they tell us a lot about what Sarah does not want. The Cotswolds idea would have placed her in a small granny annex on her daughter's land, which felt more like storage than a fresh start. Certainly not the lavish lifestyle she is now accustomed to, though it's still a beautiful property, I'm sure. The Portugal story would have taken her entirely out of the Windsor orbit and far from the network she relies on. According to one source, neither option appealed to her in the slightest, and the firm denial from her representative makes that perfectly clear. A source close to Sarah told People that she was already planning to move into a separate residence. They emphasised that she had never asked for a property or any provision for herself. She intends to forge an independent life. Another insider put it very simply. She is going to move forward independently. When multiple voices around her are using the same language, it is rarely accidental. It signals a deliberate step away from Andrew and towards something she can control. Meanwhile, Andrew is expected to relocate to a property on the Sandringham estate. The details remain vague. Whatever comes next for him is going to be handled quietly, behind closed doors, and with the sort of supervision he has not experienced before. The days of him hiding behind the space and privacy of Royal Lodge are ending.
Prince Andrew is seeking new separate accommodation for both himself and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, in exchange for Royal Lodge, according to reports.
For their daughters, the shift has a deep emotional element. Royal Lodge is woven into some of the happiest moments of their lives. Princess Eugenie held her wedding reception there in 2018. Princess Beatrice married nearby at the Royal Chapel of All Saints in 2020, before returning to the lodge for private celebrations. For both sisters, the house represented security and family ties. The loss of that space is not just practical, it is personal.
It's a family crisis. There have been family crises before, but probably nothing as bad as this, because not forgetting we've got Harry and Meghan, which is all part of the family. But it is a family crisis, and it's one of those that only the family can solve.
All of this is happening because the pressure surrounding Andrew's past has intensified again. Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir stirred up the scandal by repeating the allegations made against him. It is serious, shocking, and deeply disturbing. Andrew has always vehemently denied the claims, but the public reaction was immediate. Once again, he faced headlines linking him to Epstein, and new emails were released showing he had lied in his television interview. So the palace was forced to consider its position, and once again, Andrew retreated from view. Leaks emails have also pushed Fergie back into the spotlight. A 2011 message reappeared where she referred to Epstein as a supreme friend. The phrasing prompted widespread criticism and led several charities to step away from her. Her spokesperson insisted that the email was sent under duress and said that she, like many others, was taken in by his lies. Even so, the message created fresh criticism at a time when she is trying to rebuild her public standing.
The Duchess of York has been removed as a patron of a children's hospice following her email correspondence with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The charity Julia's House says it would be inappropriate for the Duchess to continue as patron of the charity.
This brings us to the heart of the story. People close to Sarah say she is pursuing opportunities to establish herself independently. This includes potential television work, a speaking circuit, and the long-discussed possibility of a memoir. The goal is financial autonomy and protecting the future of her daughters. In simple terms, she cannot afford to be tied to Andrew's situation any longer, and she's desperately trying to distance herself. But will that make the world forget her own role in the story? And that is what makes the spokesperson's statement so significant. It marks a clear departure from the rhetoric we have heard for years. The loyalty she demonstrated throughout Andrew's crises appears to be gone, at least in practical terms. Or, at least, that's what she wants us to think. She is no longer framing their shared life as an unbreakable arrangement. Instead, she is preparing to leave the home that has defined that arrangement, possibly for good. Her next chapter is not yet fully written. The address is not confirmed. The timeline is not fixed, but the direction is unmistakable. Royal Lodge is entering a new phase without her, and the partnership she once defended so fiercely is shifting into something far more separate. So here is the question for you. Do you believe Sarah is sincerely breaking away from Andrew after all these years, or is this simply a temporary move shaped by pressure from outside? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want the latest updates on Sarah's next step, Andrew's shrinking future, and the wider impact inside the royal family, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. There is plenty more ahead. Thank you for watching. Until next time.